after all these years, I still get so freaking uncomfortable in front of the camera. Like it's probably the weirdest thing. Like filming yourself, it's so bizarre. Like this was not the video I was hoping to make. I was hoping to be flying all across New Zealand right now, but unfortunately my motor decided to give up. It's completely reasonable. The motor it was standing for 10 years, even though we put it in a like storage condition to stand for a long period of time. It's still stood too long, and had stuck rings, blow by, pushing oil out, so I had to pull the heads off it. And the legend Thomas from Edge Performance in Norway is doing me a massive solid and is helping me rebuild the heads and new pistons, rings, and honing the cylinders. So it will have a full top end overall on it, which will solve the blow-by issue, that's for sure. It's kind of thrown me out of whack. I was supposed to have dealt with this in December already, and I should have been overseas right now doing other epic flying adventures, but I kind of cancelled everything to take the Ibis. Charlie, that's the name. I named it, by the way. I thought Charlie was a good one because it's Charlie Lima, and yeah, I thought that had some character. So Charlie is the name of the Ibis, and I was hoping to take Charlie on a big grand New Zealand adventure, and that's kind of fallen through. So now I'm high and dry. This engine thing is a pretty big financial knock. Without Thomas's help, I definitely would be so screwed. Like, yeah, he's a huge legend. I'm gonna link Edge Performance down below. He does like fuel injection kits for road taxes. He does big bores. He's also working on a Yamaha right now, which is a very exciting motor for the experimental market. And yeah, link below, check him out. He's an absolute legend. There'll be more on what he's doing on the motor and all that coming up. But all that being said, I thought I'd do a Q&A. I'm averaging one a year right now, so that's good. Yeah, I went on Instagram and asked you guys to ask me questions, so we're gonna jump through those and update you guys, give you guys a little lowdown on what's been happening in my life and whatever else you guys want to know. I don't know, there might be random stuff, but we'll see. All right, so I just sat and filtered through a few hundred messages. There have been a lot, and I'm really sorry for those that I won't be answering, but I picked a few that I think are worth answering or not. By the way, this video could potentially be very, very boring. So yeah, if you don't want to watch this, don't watch it. Jonas asks, I'm sure he's from Germany. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, he's asking, are you still in contact with Louis? And if yes, do you plan any future adventures together? Of course, I'm still in contact with Louis. We will probably be friends for the rest of our lives. After the around the world flight, there was some much needed, time apart. I think that's the reality of anything that extensive. But we've also just been so focused on our own careers at this point that, there just hasn't been time to hang out. But yeah, we definitely still in contact, and we speak almost every day about the movie, because that's another question that so many people have been asking, is what's going on with the movie. The movie is amazing. Like, it's so good. I'm almost done watching the latest cut. It's the number one priority for Louis and I to get this done. I think we both massively overestimated or underestimated the amount of footage that we gathered over those 81 days, or were going to gather. Before we set out, we just had no idea that it was going to be this sheer amount of footage and that so much was going to happen. It makes for a really good movie. Like, we got so much drama and so much, complications and amazing experiences and, incredible people that we met. It's all there. Like, it's incredible. We have so much substance. But to turn that, to turn 81 days, like, I think it's like almost 10 terabytes of footage. No, it's more. It's like 16 terabytes of footage. That's a lot. And I think both Louis and I were a little overly optimistic when we launched the Kickstarter with how long this is going to take to finish. and we don't want to deliver something that's not good. Like, we both are determined to make this good. Like, it has to be great. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening with the movie right now. It's looking good. It's an amazing film. I don't say that lightly, but it really is an amazing film, and I'm excited for you guys to see it. Yeah, I don't want to give a date quite yet. I'll have to chat to Louis about when we can give a date, but it's not far out. It really isn't far out. So yeah, that kind of wraps around that. I'm sure Louis and I will go on some little flying adventures again, but I don't really have an intention to do a big trip like that again. Doing that for 3 months was insanely hard. So, you know, maybe like 2-week trips or 10 days to 2-week trips, which I have a few planned this year. They're perfect. And in terms of like taking your friends along on that is really fun. So yeah, there will be more flying adventures, definitely. All right, that transitions me into Liam's question. He's asking, what's your aviation goal for this year? Go on. I have a lot. So my goal is to finish Charlie and go on the epic adventure. And once I'm done with that, most likely sell Charlie. I don't intend to be spending much time in New Zealand anymore. I think my time here is pretty much done. I'll still come visit my parents every summer for a little bit, but it's not worth keeping an airplane here. And to take Charlie to the US is just not financially viable. So I think the plan probably around March is to sell Charlie. Then I have an order on something else right now, which is so freaking exciting. I can't give too much away about what it is, but it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be the heart of this channel for a few years to come. I'm pretty damn excited about it. There's still a lot that has to happen, and that's why I don't want to talk about it too much, because things go wrong sometimes, and then there's this expectation out there, and I don't want to be labeled a bullshitter. But things are in the works in that sense. The other thing is, I think as soon as Charlie sells, I want to buy with that money in the US a 152 or maybe a 170 or something. But basically, I want to buy an airplane and fix it up. And I meet a lot of people that really wish to become pilots, but they don't have the resources to do that. And also a major problem with becoming a commercial pilot is hour building. So I think I'd love to have an airplane that I don't really use, that I can give to deserving individuals, you know, all throughout the US and Canada, and just give them the airplane and say, it's yours for 3 weeks, you know, maintenance is covered, just put gas in it and you can go and build hours in it. I think that's something I really want to do this year, is do that. And I also want to, I have so many plans. Like, I want to start like a worldwide flying club that focuses on buying shares into your own kit, which you build with a group of people. You know, like maybe 2-3 days a week, there's building days, and everybody comes in and you build this airplane, which you own a part of, and then that airplane becomes part of the club, and your membership is valid worldwide. So you can go, you know, in San Carlos, in San Francisco, you can walk in and fly, or you can go to Spain and you can, you know, fly the planes there, whatever. Like, that's a big vision I have, but that's something I really want to do, is involve people in the process of building airplanes, learning how to maintain them, and then giving them an affordable platform to learn to fly on and fly with. So that's a big one. The 152 is a pretty big one, and then this personal airplane that I've got on order is another one. So those are my 3 aviation goals for the year. And then obviously the bunch of different adventures that I have planned, which probably pretty good segue. Obviously the New Zealand adventure is planned. I hope that'll still work out. In late February, early March, I'm heading to South Africa. I'm going to pick up an airplane. I've got an option to do it with a 210 or potentially a sling. And I'm gonna go on a big, grand Southern African adventure. And I'm gonna daily vlog it. So that's something you guys should really be excited about. I'm taking a patron with me. Tio, he just started learning to fly, and he's been a big supporter of this channel on Patreon. So yeah, I'm taking him with me, and I'm gonna try and, you know, not instruct him per se, but just show him some real world bush flying out in Africa. Density altitude's a big thing there, dealing with thunderstorms this time of year, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be a grand adventure. Might be some other people that join us too, and just be a good time. So that's a big one that's coming, and I'm very, very excited about that. TCRY guy asks, does it still just hit you at times that you've flown around the world and you just stop and admire how awesome that is? Yeah, it definitely does. I think I still haven't quite processed it. It's weird. I think other people admire the adventure and the achievement more than I do. I don't know. It's such a weird, it's a weird thing. Like I watched a video of Louis this morning, actually, of us flying to Pakistan, and it just feels like a different human being, and that feels like a different lifetime for me too. I've changed so much since, like, it's unreal actually how much I've changed. I think that trip is single-handedly the biggest thing, the biggest pivoting point in my life. Everything that happened during it, you know, the intense mental struggle that was involved in the discipline required, and just the focus led to me losing a lot in my life. And that's something I don't talk about a lot, but I neglected a lot of personal things in my life during that phase. So you know, coming after the trip, there was this sort of pretty bad downtime in this period of my life where I realized what I'd neglected, and I lost it. And one of it was my relationship. I lost someone that I really, really deeply cared about. But ultimately, that was, in hindsight, needed. I had a lot of chapters in my life that were attributing to mental health issues that I just never dealt with. And having that low period, and, you know, just being literally burnt to ashes, it definitely the lowest time of my life after the around the world flight. But being able to rise up from that, you know, with a stronger foundation has really changed me a lot. And I feel so much more in control, and I'm healthy. Like, for the first time in my life, my grown-up life, I don't have mental health struggles. Like, I'm pretty stable, and that is so immense. You know, depression is something that a lot of people don't talk about, but I struggled with it for many, many years, and it was rooted with my childhood. But you know, you have to deal with that at some point. So the round the world flight for me has a lot of weird emotions attached to it, and I think now it's starting to become an achievement for me, but for a very long time it wasn't. I almost look back on it with resentment because you know, I'd lost so much because of it. But in hindsight, I gained the world, you know. I proved to myself that I'm capable of the impossible, really, and that I had things that needed to be worked on. Yeah, I came out of it a much better person, and I definitely have huge admiration for Louis after the trip. I even got a tattoo to celebrate him. Live the adventure. Oh yeah, I got another tattoo that is about the actual round the world flight, and I got these about a month ago because that's the first time that I've really recognized what the trip was, and how epic that was. And yeah, so I think that's a bit of a longer story than you were hoping for, but yeah, that's the truth there. And Jeffy Moore, ever consider doing a pilot meetup? It would be cool to exchange stories. Absolutely. I do a lot of meetups with my patrons. And then, yeah, just general on YouTube. I run into a lot of random, like, I just made a really, really good friend, him and his girlfriend, Kane. Like, we've become pretty good friends here in New Zealand, and was just watching my videos and completely randomly landed at the airport where I keep my plane, and I was working on it. And he thought I was the maintenance shop, so he came in there and was like, "Oh, you're JP," and yeah, now we're like really good friends. So, yeah, and during these flying adventures, I definitely want to find a way to like give a heads up on where I'm gonna be, so that if any of you watching, you know, want to connect with me, then that's the best way. I think the best way to know where I am at any time is just Instagram. So follow me on there. Like that is definitely the best way, but I need to find a different way too, just to be more up to date with people. But yeah, I love meeting people that have an interest in flying, and yeah, it's just there's nothing, literally nothing in my life that's more fulfilling. So yeah, I'm all down for hanging out. And then a final one from Caleb. What's your overall plan for 2019? Well, what is my overall plan for 2019? Just have good days, I guess. That's my biggest goal for 2019, is just have good days. Make epic memories, and just, yeah, fly as much as I can, because that's the one thing I really, really love in life. And keep moving up in, you know, my sort of mental growth. I'm still a young guy. I think a lot of people forget that, you know. I'm still growing as an individual, and I don't think, well, I know you never stop doing that, but I'm at like a really pretty drastic curve right now. Yeah, I don't know if that made any sense, but that basically sums up the Q&A. Ibis Motor is in Norway, well, the top end of it anyway, and the movie's coming. It's pretty damn freaking good. And then yeah, we got some epic adventures planned. So yeah, again, huge shout out to my patrons, and I hope to meet as many of you as possible. And to the rest of you, thanks for watching. I really hope you subscribe. I need to like start pushing that more. Like I'm really bad at like promoting myself on YouTube, but I realize that the algorithm needs that. So yeah, subscribe, ring that little bell down there that gives you a notification if I ever upload a video. And then obviously go follow me on Instagram, because that's where you'll know where I am at any point in time. This has been way too long. I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope, if you're still here, I hope this wasn't a waste of your time. And if you're still here and this was a waste of your time, don't leave a negative comment. Like, that's just silly. I told you not to watch this at the beginning. But anyway, I'm gonna go.